Hi everyone, this is Sarah with Quantum Healing with the Angels, and I am bringing you a new episode today. This is episode 31. This is a channeling with Archangel Uriel. He's coming through a lot lately, which is fine. I love Archangel Uriel and I love his voice. So anyway, I had a lot of questions. So I kind of skipped from topic to topic pretty fast, and that's why I'm just trying to fit everything in, and I also didn't want Travis to have to be in trance for a super long time. There's something I've been noticing lately, and it's kind of that a lot of people are giving their power away. Sometimes I see this online in the spiritual awakening groups. Sometimes I hear stories in my sessions, and almost every time it is something that someone else has told my client that is fear-based. Now, this is everyone from a friend, maybe a teacher or a guru, or someone they go to for spiritual healing. This is usually someone that the person believes is spiritually superior in some way. So I just want to tell you to be careful about giving your power away. And I know, in the beginning when you're starting down your path of awakening, it's hard to know what to listen to or who to listen to or if you should listen to anybody. When people lean towards giving you messages that are fear-based, that is a red flag, because that's not something that I hear the angels do. And when we've channeled people's higher selves, I've never heard higher selves do that either. So I just immediately think, well, that is not coming from their higher self. That's likely coming from their ego. This is one of the reasons that I do love quantum healing hypnosis sessions, because those sessions are set up. They're not like somebody reading your energy. They are basically set up so that you are learning how to connect with your own higher self and learning how to get your own answers. Regarding the whole giving your power away, there's a video I found online, and I don't actually know this lady or what her other beliefs are, but this video really sums up well what I was thinking. So I'm just going to include that in the show notes, and you can listen to it. There is something that I'm moving into, which is mediumship, which is pretty exciting. I am seeing visions from people who have passed over, where they're sending me like pictures of maybe how they died or just things about their life, and it's really interesting to tune into that. But this particular conversation was well, I was a little bit stunned that it was that person. I had them on my mind all day, and then I realized later on that it was actually that person's birthday. So it was exciting to tune into their energy and to have an actual conversation with them. Some people have asked me what we talked about. I was so stunned that I didn't ask a lot of really smart questions, but what I got was that they are helping me with my mediumship, that they will be back, and that maybe I can ask some more questions that are interesting questions. It was the middle of the night, and, I wasn't expecting it. I was talking to another medium, and she said that a similar thing had happened to her with someone who was famous. Maybe that's a thing that they do from the other side to help us. Anyway, it was pretty cool. There's one part of the session where we talked just a little bit about a cat named Mocha. This is a cat that we saw being neglected. We saw this family owned him, but they were not taking care of him. He had an infection in his eye that they were not doing anything about. And the mother of the family seemed like she just wanted to get rid of him. And the whole thing, it just had a really weird feeling. So even though my cat had just died and I wasn't ready to adopt a cat yet, but we just figured we have to get him out of this weird situation and make sure he's safe. So we fostered Mocha for a little bit. We took him and we got his eye cleared up and made sure that he was healthy. And then we paid to have him put in a really place where they really screened the families that took these pets. So we felt pretty good about that. But I had never asked about Mocha, so I wanted to check on him. If you have any questions about what Archangel Uriel is talking about when he talks about the cats switching bodies and coming back, I'll put a link to a session where we talked about how they do that, how they can come back into our lives even if they've passed over. So I'll put the link to that in the show notes for you. Let's see. We are having a light language class on Sunday at 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Well, a lot of the time in these classes is spent talking to the angels while Travis channels them. You can actually ask questions through the chat on Zoom, and I will ask your question to whatever angel he's channeling. And that has been something I think people have really liked. I have created the link to purchase that. It is in the show notes. I'll put it at the top so it can be easily seen. If you click on that, you can see a preview of the class and like a question that we're asking. And there are other previews that I'll put up in our shorts on YouTube and TikTok and things like that. So that is pretty much it. I hope you guys are hanging in there, and we hope you enjoy episode 31 of Quantum Healing with the Angels.
Yes, I am here. What can I do for you?
Who am I speaking with?
This is Uriel.
Hi, Uriel. It feels like the energy is really strong right now.
Yes, right now, the negative energy is a little stagnant. It is around, but it is not really initiating anything. It is like it is around, watching, and waiting.
What is it waiting for?
The powers that be on your planet are making it hard for everyone. So they are just waiting for everyone to get very upset, and then they will come in and try to capitalize on it. Right now, people are actually fighting that negative energy as much as they can. They are trying to stay positive. It is very hard, mainly because they are stretching their limits. Everyone, and again, once we say it is about currency, which everyone is short on. That is how they are getting into everyone's heads. They're trying to make them stretch their money as far as they can. They're trying to push them to the breaking point. So the negative energies is not necessarily doing much because they don't have to. Because of the people that you say that are in charge or making everything hard on people. So the negative energies aren't really having to do much. But they are sitting around watching and waiting for everyone's breaking point.
What's going to happen when that happens?
If it keeps going the way it's going, there will be an uprising, but we don't see it going that way yet. It is mainly because of your politics in this nation. They usually do this in their political times. They try to get as much money out of people as possible, and they'll wait almost until the last minute when it comes to the voting times. They won't wait too close to voting times this time. They will wait until the fall and try to ease things up to make everyone forget about the bad things that were happening most of this year. Which usually works most of the time, because when things are going good for people, they do forget bad. They forget about all of the bad that happened earlier in the year. These things can be changed, though. If everyone comes into as in a collective and they get together and they meditate and do the light language to try to make those powers stop doing what they're doing and stop being so greedy.
How would we do that? Do it together? Or on our own? Or both?
You can do it both ways if you want to get together and do it. Get out messages to people to try to stay strong and stick together. And it will change. Sometimes the light language you do will change those powers' minds and they will stop being so greedy and start being more giving. They know it only takes a little bit to make people not be struggling so much. In reality, they do not need all of the things that they want to be greedy. If they ever get in their minds that all the things that they want is really unnecessary, then your world will be a better place.
So if there are just a few people that know light language, will that still influence those people?
Sometimes it does. Light language is very strong for each person. It is all about the belief of what you're putting out into the world. Of course, the more people it is, the more powerful it is. Even one person doing light language is kind of powerful, but we have to admit one person will not change the world.
Yeah.
One person's light language is pretty strong, but there are more than one person that are controlling these things on your planet. Like, there is not just one person controlling everyone on your planet to make everything bad. There are a bunch of them.
Yeah.
And sometimes they argue back and forth. So there is not just one grand person that is in charge of everyone else that are causing these bad things. There are many. And they're always fighting each other sometimes as well. That's why it is not foolproof what they're doing, because there are some cracks in what they are doing, but no one has figured out what they are yet. Because they're fighting each other as well. That's why I say at a certain point in time it could crack and crumble on them and everyone will be in a better place, because everything they're controlling will fall apart because of their infighting.
Are these people in politics or behind the scenes?
They are above people in politics. People in politics are puppets.
Mm-hmm.
The people in charge are the ones that have all of the money that they are controlling.
Okay.
They are actually above the richest people on your planet as well. The people that are the richest people on your planet think they are in charge, but even they don't know that there is someone above them.
Yeah.
The people on your planet know about some of these families that they already know about. They know that they have most of the money on the planet. They know about most of them.
Mm-hmm.
But those families are not even in charge. They think they are, but even they don't know that they're even being controlled by another group. The group that is controlling that group, they don't even need money. They're almost on a different plane where everything is free for them. And the currency is just something to play with. They're pretty much on a level that they don't need money for anything. They have people to give them those things for free.
That's amazing.
They are giving those things for free, but they're paying those people to do it for them, of course, but they're getting those things for free from those people. So if they want anything, they can just have someone bring it to them. And of course, the ones that are super higher up, the reason why they can get those things is because they use threats.
Oh.
They can threaten their families or whatever.
Yeah.
But they don't have to threaten them too much because they're giving those people a lot of money to get those things for them.
Wow.
They don't have to worry about anything being traced because they can make it disappear or just fall in line with what that's already there.
Yeah. That's crazy. So, a lot of people feel really down right now. Is that just because they're stressed? They're worried?
Yes, they're worried about those things. They're worried about currency and those things, and someone in their family might be sick,
Right.
or someone in their family might be dying, and all of those things just pile up. That is mostly what it is. Why people are stressed is mainly because of those things.
Yeah.
Which is easy to get your people down on those things because that is how they keep you down. It is easy.
Yeah.
You have to work
Mm-hmm.
to live. That is the easiest way to keep people in slavery. They have no choice. No matter what profession they're in.
Yeah.
Even if they're a doctor, just because doctors have a lot of money or lawyers have a lot of money, they still worry because they have to work to have those things.
Mm.
They can't stop being those professions because they know that their currency would run out. So they're slaves just as well.
Yeah.
Pretty much anything you do that you have to work to make money, you're a slave. So it doesn't matter. That's why we always try to tell people, no matter what the job the person has, even if they have a lot of money, they would not have that money if they do not work. Or even people that have businesses. You still have to work to run that business. And they have money, but they're still slaves because the currency is a form of slavery. So it doesn't matter how much money someone has. If they have more money than you, they had to get it some kind of way.
Yeah.
Even if it's illegal to get, they still work in a way. They had to do something to get that money. So even if it's illegal, it's still work because it's currency. So basically, there's no way out of it.
Yeah.
Even if someone steals money, that's a form of work because you had to steal it. That is work.
That's true.
Most people don't see it that way. People get mad and say, why don't they get a job with? Well, they're pretty much a criminal. Stealing money, that's a job. It's not a legal job, but it's a job.
It's true. Here's a girl that I was going to have a session with, and she has a friend that she talks to or goes to see or something. And her friend said that she shouldn't do the session because of what I told her about how negative energy sometimes, well, it would like to prevent really good sessions from happening. She said that you would explain this to me. So I was wondering if you have anything to explain, or that you could explain about that session.
There is no negative energies that comes from our sessions. That person was saying that because they wanted their currency back from you. She did not want to do the session with you anymore because she wanted her currency back, or what you called a refund. She was listening to what the other person was saying. The other person did not want her to come to you because she did not want to lose that client.
That brings me to something I'm noticing a lot lately. I have noticed it so much lately. People giving their power over to other people who they think are smarter than them. And these people are taking advantage and telling them things that are not true. Now, I know that I don't carry negative energy into a session. I don't think that you would say that because the negative energy tries to interfere, that is because we are weak people. I'd like to know what you think about that.
That is not the way it works. Negative energy cannot come anywhere near you while I am speaking to you. They would not do that. So anyone that says that is misinformed.
Yeah, that's not how the sessions work.
No, they do not. So anyone that says anything about negative energy during these sessions is wrong.
So why are there so many people out there who are trying to be, they seem to, they'll tell people things to scare them, for one thing. Some people will say, oh, I've read your energy and you have a block. And that person will take that and run with it and believe everything that they say. And then they are afraid, and then they allow that to spiral out of control, and then they'll end up in one of the spiritual groups saying that they're going crazy, or somebody said they had this. And why are so many people giving their power away? Or maybe why are the people doing that? Just to have control?
Most of them are doing it for easy money. They know it is easy to scare people because pretty much everyone on your planet are pretty much on the defense.
Yeah.
24/7. So if you tell them something bad or something bad will happen to them, it will make them scared. And they will want to talk to them more to see if they can get them something that won't make them scared. So they pretty much play on people's fear. Basically the same way that how things are run on your planet. They have to have everyone scared all the time to keep them going. So they're pretty much doing the same thing, or some of them wants to be, what you say, famous.
Some so-called light workers send out fearful messages.
Yes, because everyone thinks that everything good is boring. They don't want to hear good stuff all the time. They think it's boring. It's almost like they want to be afraid because it's more exciting.
Yeah.
But they do not realize when they do that, it brings in negative energy. Because their feelings will get scared and they will start believing it when they really shouldn't believe it, because none of the things they say makes any sense at all.
Right, we've already talked about how how curses are not real.
Curses are not real.
But if you tell someone, oh, you've got a curse in your family, so many people will believe that.
If most people believed, like we say, hell is not real, if everyone knew hell was not real, then they would not believe in curses. Why would there be any curses if there's no hell? See, if everyone thinks that way, then they wouldn't be fooled by anything.
They still think there's a punishment system and a bunch of levels.
Yes, and there is not. There are no levels. Especially here in the light, there are no levels. You just know everything at once when you get here.
Even people that have it mostly right still think there's a level system when we get back there.
Yes.
It blows my mind.
It's only because they heard that from somewhere else. They did not just come up with that. They heard it somewhere else and it stuck in their head. And if someone lies and said we told them, then that is not true.
So, how can people best use their discernment then? Like, I remember in the beginning, I listened to people that now I would not listen to, because I know that they're full of crap, pretty much. They might be trying to do something good, but they're confused. As some maybe are not trying.
Yes, pretty much everyone on your planet is confused because of your social media, and they have all this media out there when everyone's saying different things.
Yeah. Someone
will come up with something brand new and they will think it's real when it's not real.
Right. Like this shadow work. That's just work, right?
Yes.
Just spiritual work.
If you really want to ask them what kind of shadows are you talking about. That will totally confuse them.
Well, yeah.
Because wait, what do you mean what kind of shadow? Well, when you walk outside, you see a shadow. Do I have to work on that shadow? What do you mean? You have to ask them or it will totally confuse them. A lot of people don't ask them things like that. It's like, oh, there must be something evil.
Yeah.
Well, if you're walking in the dark, you don't have a shadow. So, how can you do shadow work if you do not see a shadow? Can you explain that to me? And that will totally confuse them.
To me, it just seems like maybe that kind of work is like looking deeply at things that you maybe didn't want to look at before, and people name it that.
Yes, that's true. They will name it that, but you'll still have to ask them, where did you get the shadow from? Why did you call it that?
Right.
And if they can answer it, then you know it's made up, and then you can leave them alone.
Because I don't know anyone who likes feeling negative energy.
Right.
Or hanging around in the shadows.
Yes.
It doesn't feel good. It feels bad.
And the other one you mentioned to me a while ago was about a soul trap. So what does this trap look like? Does it look like a bear trap? Does it look like this kind of trap? And that will confuse them. It's like, no, that's not what I'm talking about. I said, well, your soul cannot be trapped, so where did you get that from? Your soul cannot be trapped. Where did you get soul trap from? Can you explain that to me? And if they can't explain it to you, then you know they are full of it.
Yeah. Most people that have near-death experiences seem to have a positive experience, but some people say they've seen it, the soul trap, and they have people terrified about it.
Yes, because they heard that before they died, and they saw something, they couldn't explain it, and that was the first thing that they could remember when they came back, was that word.
Okay.
Words are very strong on your planet. Sometimes those words stick with you after you die until you come here, and then you come here and we all laugh about it. Because you'll realize that it was not real once you get here. You might carry it with you while you're traveling here, but once you get here and there's like, oh, that's a funny word, that doesn't mean a thing. But if you go back to Earth and that word is still stuck in your head, I saw a soul trap. No, you didn't. You already knew that word before you died. It just stuck in your head. And that's what you think you saw or whatever.
Okay.
You know, people on your planet like to make things more difficult than what it is, and it is not. Basically, when you say light language, you know when you do light language, and sometimes you see the building blocks of life. Yeah. You see the block. That's just part of the light language that you see. That is what it looks like. It looks like blocks and stuff. Yeah. There's no certain things you can do with the blocks. Let's take this pyramid block and do it. No, it's not like that. It is not difficult like that. It just comes out like that, and you use it all the same. There is nothing extravagant you have to do with it. There's nothing that this part does differently than the other part. No, it's not that. It all does the same thing. If you want to build something, it is your intention to build something, then those building blocks will build it for you. Maybe it'll come in the form of currency or something. Then you can build it that way.
I just met a girl who sees it in little lights. Little tiny lights. She was able to take pictures of it.
Yes, sometimes you can see it if you take photos.
It looked kind of like little tiny shapes.
Yes.
Of light.
That's when they're really small and you can't necessarily see the shape. Yeah. Unless you got some kind of super strong camera and you can zoom in, you might be seeing some face. Sometimes you will see faces as well.
Really?
That's another thing we have to tell you. When you do light language, sometimes it's the building blocks. Sometimes it's spirits mixed in with the building blocks. You might even see a face of a spirit. And they will help. Someone that just passed away, for instance, and they see. Oh. When you do light language, it's almost seeing parts of the tunnel when you travel through when you die. So if you're doing light language and someone happens to die that's nearby, they will see your light language and they will hear it as well. Wow. Just passing by them. So you might be seeing someone that had just passed away coming back here into the light, and you might see their face.
That reminds me, I think the mediumship is picking up a little bit.
Yes, it is.
So was that really Prince that I talked to that night?
Yes, it was.
Holy moly. That's crazy.
Yes, it was.
I can't believe that. Okay.
Is here in life. He will not be going into another life.
Oh, wow.
Exactly like most people on your planet that were your celebrities.
Yeah.
Some like to go back to regular lives, but some just like what they left behind. They like the legacy they left behind. Yeah. And that is the last thing they want to be.
Yeah.
Ever. Because they know a lot of people love them so much, and that is their legacy. So they just want to be that and just stay here in light, and they can help people sometime.
So if he is in the light, well, I noticed that our lights that are motion detected lights were going on and off during that time that we were talking.
Yeah, that was him walking through the home.
So is he he's not a wandering soul, right? He's in the light.
Yes, he is in the light. There's some things you can do in the light where you can bring your consciousness into your area, and it's still slightly a mass. So it's just enough mass to trigger things like that.
He was pretty good at that.
Yes, those sensory lights you have are pretty strong. It could be something very small and it will come on. It's a mass, so that's why it came on.
That's amazing.
Just floats in and out.
Well, that was kind of fun. That was right around his birthday.
Yes.
Yeah.
He brought a lot of love onto your planet.
Aww.
People that are in your media actually helping other people. Like what you are doing. Even though you think you're not as big as he was on this planet. Anytime you give information out to people on the planet through your media, that is huge. So what you're doing is really big. You might not think you're leaving a legacy for yourself, but you are, because it will always be there. That is something to be very proud of, because you are doing something that is leaving an imprint on your planet. It will always be there.
That's really cool.
Someone will always be able to find that media too, some kind of way. So what you're doing will be around pretty much forever. Even if things go wrong and people have no power, eventually some other beings will find the power and they will see everything that you did on record, and they will see what you did. You will be around forever. Even after you come back here in the light, what you are doing now will still be there. Or somewhere in the universe, because your media can go anywhere, really. It is not just stuck here. Someone can take it and take it to other places. Yes, what you are doing is very powerful.
Okay. I wanted to ask you about the light language that you did with the really deep tones. They almost sound like an instrument that we use in sound baths called a, let's see if I can say it right, a didgeridoo?
Yes.
Yeah.
Light language can be done in different ways.
Yeah.
Different sounds help the light language.
I noticed some sound like water or wind.
Yes, that or hitting on blocks. You can't hit on blocks that fast, but there's different sounds, different vibrations. Like this one. That sounds like someone scratching something, but it is still a sound that can make people feel good sometimes. Some people might not like the sound of it, mainly because their religion is in their head and they think it sounds like someone is possessed. Yeah. That is not what it is.
Yeah.
If no one has no religion in their lives, and it would probably relax them, because they wouldn't think of anything evil.
Why does that relax people? Is there any way of explaining it, or not really?
That is just what is it in their being, because some people, it would not relax them, it would scare them.
Yeah.
But it only scare them because they are having religion in their lives. Okay. And sometimes you can do it with your mouth closed. Like this. That is a good sound for most people, because sometimes that sounds like one of your things that you ride, a motorcycle. It sounds like that when it is idling.
Yeah, I noticed it's almost a machine sound too.
Some people like the sound of a motorcycle sound. Oh. So if you do that sound, that might make them relax, because it reminds them of a motorcycle just idling.
That's fascinating. So all kinds of sounds.
Yes, all kinds of sounds.
Interesting.
They're all related to light language, and they all work the same way.
Is there any way to use it for emergency illnesses?
Yes. That is the best time to use light language, actually. someone is really hurt, then you should use light language all the time. Like we told you when you did it for your father, it was laying dormant in his knee.
Yeah.
Well, they cut open his knee and they took out what we said they took out. But the light language was working on it as well. He gets waves of good feelings sometimes. Then he gets some bad feelings sometimes, but that's only because he starts thinking and go back to his old ways and start worrying about trivial stuff that doesn't matter. But he goes in waves and up and down.
Yeah.
But it's not as bad as it was.
Is it gonna heal on its own?
Oh yes, it's gonna heal.
Okay, good.
Luckily for you, he is actually stronger than you think. He fights a lot. Like, yes, he is getting older. He's not doing as much as he did, but he is stronger than most people his age.
Wow.
Like the thing they just found. Luckily, it was something that they can take out easily, and
that's great.
It doesn't spread anywhere. It's literally like something that was just in one little spot that they can take out and it'll be gone.
That's good. Yeah, I could hear he was worried.
He was at first, but he got more power from you because he wants to believe what you're saying is true. He wasn't preparing to die. He wasn't going to let that happen. So he heard what the doctor said, but he also remembered what you told him. So he believed what they said. They showed him and everything, but luckily he saw that it was small, so he didn't think about it too much, which is the best thing to do. So he knew that they could just take it out and it'd be okay. So he doesn't even think about that anymore, which is a good thing.
It is a good thing. He likes the channeling.
Yes, he was surprised. He is not ready to die. He is going to. Wow. He is not ready, which is a good thing. He is not weak. He doesn't get tired. He doesn't have any chest pains. He's for someone his age, he's in fairly good shape. The reason why is because he did hard work so much in his life, it made his muscles stronger. Right. It is just taking him longer to break down because of his age. Eventually they will get to the point where he really can't do anything, because that's what happens when you age. But
that's amazing.
He is only close to 3/4 of a way. So he's like a little over halfway when everything starts to go down. So he is still fairly strong for his age. Like, he won't lift anything. Of course, he knows he can't lift anything heavy.
Right.
He's past that point. But as far as moving around and walking and stuff, which is really good for someone his age, just to walk without no problems, he's still pretty good. Like, he doesn't need a cane or nothing like that.
Right.
Which they would probably try to give him one for his knee. He might use it sometimes, but he can bend his knee. He doesn't bend it as much because he don't want it. But he can move it.
Does he need all the antibiotics and stuff that they're giving him?
Not necessarily, but they will not hurt him.
Okay.
Because they're not really strong.
Oh, that's good.
They're really light antibiotics.
Oh, that's good.
So they will not harm him.
Okay.
The light language is helping him enough, but honestly, he won't be taking most of those. That's what most men do. They're like, I'm not taking that.
Yeah, that's him, for sure. Well, that's good.
Yes.
What was I going to say? I wanted to ask you something. Let me see. Does it get more powerful as we see it more?
Yes, it gets more powerful, and sometimes you notice that it sounds different.
Yeah.
Sometimes it goes back and forth. Sometimes it'll change, and sometimes it'll go back to where it sounded when you first started. It just really depends on how you do it. But yes, and like we said, it doesn't matter how loud you say it or whatever. Sometimes, though, the tone of voice, if you're telling it to someone, your tone of voice does make a difference for them. In reality, it doesn't make a difference. But I guess we can say, if you're telling it to someone, their tone of voice does make a difference to that person, because sometimes people go off on how your voice sounds.
Yeah.
And that really depends on, that'll make them believe it more depending on how your voice sounds.
Yeah.
Some people like softer light language. If you can really channel it really good, if you start off with loud language at first and then go down, you can do both.
Oh yeah, like kind of
That
like
way,
you did.
when you speak to the person, you can say, did that make you feel better? Did you like the stronger sounding one or the lighter sounding one?
That's true.
And if they like the lighter sounding one, then you can just do that for them. Some people do go by the tone of voice.
Okay.
If they're not religious, then it doesn't matter. But religious people, like we said, sometimes when you say light language, it might sound evil to them. And I was like, I didn't like that. You sound like you was possessed. Oh, I'm sorry. I can do a lighter one next time. Some people can't help that. If they're religious, and that's just the way they are.
Yeah.
But it's good to ask them if they like the way that sounded.
Is there something about light language and doing grids? Is that a real thing or not?
No, it is not.
Okay.
You just say light language, that is it.
Okay, so that crystal grid thing or whatever. Well, I'm not really sure what it was.
The crystals do make it stronger, but there's no grids in it. There's nothing.
No need for a grid.
It doesn't come out in a certain shape or anything.
Yeah, okay. Okay. Oh, I wanted to ask you something about, remember little baby Mocha, the cat that we adopted for a minute?
Yes.
Is that cat doing okay?
Yes. He is much older now, but
yeah,
he is still with the family that got him a long time ago, as you say, for when you put him in the kennel, and a little girl saw him and she loved him.
Oh, good.
And now he's an older cat, and she still cares for him. Of course, she's not a little girl anymore. She's older, but she still loves him.
Oh, good. Oh, good. Oh, good.
Yes.
I'm so glad. Baby Mocha. That is great.
Yes.
That makes me so happy.
Luckily, you put him in a place when you were afraid to let him go into a kennel, but he made friends with a lot of cats when he was in the kennel.
Oh.
So he didn't necessarily miss you, which is a good thing.
That's good.
Yes.
I think he wanted to be with a little girl.
Yes, he liked to play a lot.
Yeah.
We do realize that you didn't know back then that he actually needed another cat, because you were just concentrating on getting one cat back then.
Right.
You didn't know that you needed two. If you would have got another cat like you do now, he would have been fine at your house.
Yeah. There probably would have been Matisse, huh?
Yes.
Okay.
It would have been the same dynamic as you have now.
Okay.
We must tell you that when you got that cat...
Watch out. You're stepping on Daddy.
Your cat that passed away...
Didn't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
He knew you weren't going to keep that cat yet. So he didn't ask that cat to trade with him.
Okay.
So your cat was not in that cat.
Okay.
Because he knew that you loved that cat, but not enough to keep him yet. Because you were still hurting over him. Yeah. So he did not ask that cat to switch.
I just wanted him to be okay and not neglected.
Yes.
I'm glad he's okay.
If he knew you really wanted him, then he would have traded with that cat.
So people can do that.
Yes.
If their cat passes or their dog or whatever.
And he is asking for them again.
The treats.
Yes.
I wanted to ask, is there anything that's going to happen this year that's like a big thing?
Can't say that.
Okay.
We cannot tell you that.
I think people are just, well, it just feels like we're on a roller coaster.
Yes, because that is the way they have it set up.
Oh, and there must be more light coming in.
There is more light coming in.
I feel that.
There's more light coming in, and there's, yes, because Source tells me we can't tell you exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Something is going to happen, but we can't tell you what is going to happen. We can't even tell you if it's good or bad. We can just tell you something is going to happen.
Okay. This year? Or do you just mean soon?
I can't tell you if it's this year.
Okay.
Source says not to say that it is this year. It could be this year. I can say that, but I can't tell you if it's that year or not. Because you do have different timelines.
How does this all prepare us? All the things that we're going through seem so difficult.
Mainly because if something does happen that is really big, you'll already be, depending on what it is, you almost be, people, it's kind of hard to explain to most people. Most people, they don't realize it, but they get really excited when something really big happens because they know it messes up what they're going through now, which is seems like nothing. It almost feels like you're stuck doing the same things over and over and struggling. They almost like things that disrupts everything because it gives them something else to think about. And but going through the process of having to work and make money and all of these things, everyone is almost like robots and they don't realize it because they're pretty much doing the same thing every day.
Yeah.
And nothing, they feel like they're not going anywhere.
It's like being on a ride you never get off of.
Yes, exactly. That's even for rich people as well. Anyone that is working or making money, they are in a trap. But anytime something big happens and it overthrows that, basically like if some beings decide to say, okay, we're going to show ourselves, that will disrupt everything.
Yeah.
And that would actually make people excited because, okay, finally something, maybe this will make their governments get their, the way you say, get their head out of their asses and do something and help us. You know, things like that. That makes people excited because anything that disrupts things makes people, it wakes people, it really does wake people up. Okay, finally, now what are they going to do? Because you can't run the government the same as you have been. When something big like that happens, you can't. Because you got something else you got to concentrate on. They say, okay, if some new beings come to our planet, they're not going to be able to control them. They're not. So what are you going to do now? You're going to keep us doing what we're doing? They can't, they won't be able to concentrate on both things at the same time. So they're going to have to do something. And that'll make people excited. They're like, okay, what are you going to do now?
Yeah.
You can't keep running everything like you've been doing because you got these other beings you got to worry about. What if they want to stay here? You can't stop them.
That would be really
So what are you going to do now?
Wow.
You can't incorporate them into your corrupt things because they're not going to work. They're not going to work jobs like us. So what are you going to do?
That's true.
And that is kind of what everybody's kind of hoping for, actually, because it'll disrupt things.
So I've always wondered, you know how people will say, well, source saw that money was created, but did we all decide on that, or was it just a few people that decided that to create that system?
That system was created very strategically. It's kind of hard to explain because it was so corrupt, and before there were money, people just traded things. They had the barter system.
Yeah.
So if someone knows how to do something, then they traded with another person. The whole money thing, it started with gold, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And then when people got tired of the gold, they held it at a high value. It kind of started with in the Greek times, and when they had their leaders, they're like, oh, we can put him. Someone thought about putting a face on a coin, and everybody thought it was cool. They said, oh, okay, so people like these coins, so let's make a bunch of them and have people work for those coins, and that's kind of how they made the money system, and it just kind of blew up from there.
Mm.
And then they start creating, further in the future, they start creating other things, and somebody thought about paper money.
Mm.
When whoever invented the printing press, says, oh, we can make paper money with this printing thing. And then they had coins and paper money, and then it just grew from there, basically, how it went.
I think Alara sent me a joke, by the way, of paper money the other day with my face on it. Is that right?
Yes, she was actually trying to cheer you up, because we know everyone worries about that because they need that. She was almost telling you that money, she was trying to say money is a joke.
Oh, okay.
Which you know it is, but you also know you need it.
Yeah.
But it was just...
my face was on it, and then I looked, and I think I winked at myself.
Yes. She was trying to make you laugh. Which you know money is a joke, but you also know you need it. But it was just something just to make you laugh a little bit.
Yeah, it made me laugh.
She knows you need that, unfortunately, but...
Yeah, and people are saying that they're seeing Travis or me or both of us in their dreams. That's interesting.
That is very fortunate because they are listening. They are listening to what you are trying to show them, which is good things. That is very good, actually.
Does that mean we're connecting?
Yes, you're connecting to people, and
because I know
that is what you always wanted. You might not want them to see your face or his face, but if that is what comes to them, then that is what comes to them.
I know some of the people that I get to know, we've had lives together and things like that. So, I think we've been friends for a long time.
Yes.
There's that too. Because I've seen them come into my dreams and from other lives.
Yes.
Yeah. That's really neat. But I did want to ask you, was gold ever a thing that people from other planets wanted?
Yes.
Okay.
There was a race that needed gold too. They needed gold powdered so they can put it in their atmosphere. Their atmosphere was different than any other planet. It floats in their atmosphere and it keeps they had a very strong sun, so it blocked most of the sunlight from their atmosphere, so they won't be as hot on their planet.
Okay. So
they had a yellow sky most of the time because of the...
Wow.
Like tiny pieces of gold would float in their sky.
That's amazing. Wow.
So they would come here and get it and take it back and use it for their planet.
Do we have those stargates on our planet?
Yes.
Okay.
And there are natural stargates that some people may find. Mm-hmm. And they can go to other planets.
So a Stargate versus a portal. A Stargate is a way to travel to another planet. And does a portal go into another dimension? Is that how it works?
Yes, the portals do go into other dimensions, and they don't go to other planets because most of the portals are usually designated to one planet
Mm.
and other dimensions on that planet. The stargates are different because, unfortunately, most of those stargates are one way.
Oh.
So they can go into a stargate and end up on another planet, but they will not be able to get back to this planet. It's only one way. There's another reason why some people on your planet disappear, because they could walk into one and they're gone.
Yeah.
To another planet, unfortunately.
And I watched that show, and you said that we were the people. We were the people on the show, like the people on the show, trying to stop the negative people. Is that correct?
Yes, to a certain extent, it's trying to stop the negative from controlling the people as slaves, but it's hard on your planet because you don't know where the negative people are, so you cannot find them. So the ones that are really in charge, they're not really all the way human. There's super rich people that are human, but the ones that I told you that are above those people are not really human. They're pretty much reptilian. I can say that.
Okay, I was gonna ask.
And they're the ones that can. They're the ones that does all of the. They have partial control, a tiny bit of control of the matrix, but there are other beings that. There's other beings that have more power over the matrix, where it's basically being controlled from your moon.
Right.
But so that the matrix itself is not really bad. The reptilians are the ones that make it bad. And when we say free will, the reptilians that are controlling the rich people, they don't tell them what to do. They just give them what they want because they know they're pretty much going to do what they want them to do, because they know the rich people are not necessarily good people because they're controlling everyone else, and they know they are. So the reptilians are basically a little bit lower than negative energy. The reptilians know about negative energy.
They're lower than, wow.
They know about the negative energy. They don't necessarily manipulate the negative energy because the negative energy is actually stronger than the reptilians. But the reptilians are smart enough to know that negative energy will go into anyone that is not feeling good. So like, okay, well, since we can't control the negative energy, we know that the negative energy is attracted to bad things. So we'll just give a lot of power to these rich families on this planet because we know they're going to try to control everyone else because that's the way they are. They're greedy humans. So it's almost like the reptilians don't have to do anything. Jeez. And then when you get to the part where they say, okay, well, how does the negative reptilians get into the humans? Well, they don't necessarily get into the humans, but they're almost high enough where they can watch what each human does. And they do have a technology like they can put little implants in you. They don't do that with everyone, but some people, if they want to, they can put implants in them. They won't make them, like, they can't make them kill anyone, but they can kind of make them, let's see, how can I say this?
It's like a remote control.
Well, sort of. They're kind of in the same area as we are. They can't make you do nothing because that's controlling what you do, and they can't do that. they don't suppose to do that because the free will. So they have the free will rule as well. So they can't control things, but they can do little things to kind of edge people to do what they want. It's almost like they play on their feelings. They say, okay, this guy likes this. So if we put this there, then he will go to that. So they did. It's kind of like a loophole. It's almost like, okay, well, we didn't make him do that. He did it himself. We'll be like, well, yeah, you did, but you did put this thing there that you know he likes. But we can't say that they made them do it because they didn't make them do it.
Yeah,
So they found like a little loophole in that thing.
It's like they know what will trigger them.
Yes,
to do a thing,
that's exactly right.
Okay.
They find the triggers.
Okay.
So they say, okay, well, we didn't tell him to do it. He did it himself. We were like, well, that's true.
They really like power, don't they?
They just found out things like, oh, so we can mess with these people a little bit. And they thought it was fun. So they turned into the race that just likes to mess with people. It's really unnecessary, really. They really enjoy doing that.
Because we could have just the negative energy and still have a duality experience.
Yes. But I can tell you this. It wouldn't be as bad because the reptilians do mess with you a lot. So if it wasn't for them, yes, it'll still be negative energy, but it wouldn't be as bad because you're not evil people. You're really good people. Like, you don't think about evil stuff as much.
Well, yeah, humans are not really. They just really want to be happy,
yes.
really.
So basically, if it wasn't for the reptilians, your planet would be a lot better. You will still have some greedy beings on your planet, but they wouldn't have as much as control as they have now. You might still have money, but it wouldn't be as bad as it is now. It's almost on a total lockdown of negative.
I guess there's just one more thing I wanted to ask you about. I'm hearing language in almost all sounds. Everything from the air conditioning blowing to Travis snoring to water.
Oh, yes.
In the bathtub. It sounds like language or song.
Yes, that's because
my ears feel very happy, like they're turned on, too.
You got that gift to hear light language, because light language is really in everything. You can hear light language in tones. That's what makes you, if you hear a tone, then you will start doing light language because you like the tone.
It feels like my ear has chakras and they turned on.
Yes.
Or something. Do they have that? Or is it just something else?
It is like that, and then when you hear it, that's when sometimes you hear a tone, and then you just start speaking light language.
I did that today.
Usually when you hear a certain tone, it makes you want to say light language. Because tones are a kind of light language.
Yeah, that instrument that we were talking about, that didgeridoo thing,
yes,
made me just start speaking light language.
Yes. Certain tones will make you have, or say light language, if you really, really, really like it. And you would just start saying light language.
Does that ever help you translate it later on or anything like that? The hearing? I know that's not really necessary, but some people do that.
When you do light language, if it starts to sound like it is being translated, it's only because you hear what you are saying in light language.
Okay.
Like, when you do light language, if you don't understand what somebody's saying, it doesn't matter because it works. But sometimes, if you start hearing the translation, you can hear. It's basically you can hear that person's intent. Sometimes you can hear light language say, "Oh, I could have sworn I heard you say, heal this part of your body," and that was probably because you heard it.
Yeah.
So that is how it translates sometimes.
Okay.
So yeah, sometimes some people can learn how to translate in their language if they like.
And I notice sometimes it's easier to channel if I'm a little distracted, almost like when you go into hypnosis.
Yes.
So it really is channeling.
Yes, that is more like channeling.
So you get your ego mind out of the way.
Yes.
It comes through easy. Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. Well, thank you. I think that's it. He probably needs to come out now. Thank you for talking with me.
Very welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for helping with my dad, too, and all that information.
Yes, all of this will come to pass, so everyone will start to feel better, and we know it is rough right now, but it is going to get better. It cannot stay this way for long.
I think everyone just needs to know that you love them.
Oh yes, everyone, like we said before, we are all the same. We are you,
Yeah.
But you know that. You know we're not higher than you.
Yeah.
Most people need to know that we are not higher than them. We are all the same. You might call us archangels, but we'll go by that if you want. But you could be one of us as well when you get here in the light. There are millions of angels. And you could be one of them if you want when you come back here if you want. You can be whatever you want.
How does that work? Because
you just come here and go in the light. Okay, do you want to just be you, or would you like to be of more of help for people?
So people can be angels, but not the original archangels, or can they be?
They're not really different kinds of angels. We're just called archangels.
Okay.
So if you want to be one of us and help people more, then you will be turned into one of us. We all have the same power. It's like if you wanted your mom to come through.
Mm-hmm.
She could come through. But she hasn't decided to be an archangel. She has just wanted to be a regular person in the light. But if she wanted to be an archangel, she could. And her name would probably be different because somebody would give her a different name.
I thought maybe she was doing another life by now. My mom.
No, she does not want to come back down there.
That's smart, Mom.
She was a teacher. She did all the teaching she needed.
Yeah. She was good.
She does not want to be.
She
did not want to come back down there.
Good choice. But Source isn't mad at all of us and waiting to end the world, and well, I don't know what will happen, but Source isn't mad at everyone.
Well, of course you know that because there is no anger up here.
Well, people talk about the Book of Revelations and things like that, and I don't know what of the Bible is true and what isn't. I don't know what you can bring in and what you can't. But I know that Source is sending so much light in it. That must be because of love.
Yes, it is. A lot of things in your books are not true. They just made up stories. Some things are true, but they just put them in there wrong and they depicted them the wrong way. Some of them did speak to us. Mm-hmm. But they wrote it in the book wrong. So...
yeah. And there's no fallen angels.
No.
Yeah. People debate about that a lot. That's why I just wanted to...
yes. If people really think hard, they have to believe in other beings on other planets. Because there are a lot of other beings on other planets don't even have books. So why would you believe everything that's written in books on your planet if there are some planets don't even have books? And they're doing just fine. See, people don't think that way on your planet because they raised in religion. They're pretty much in lockdown. Their brains don't go any further than this planet. But if they really think hard, it's like, wait a minute. There could be another planet that don't even have any books. And they're doing just fine. And we believe in all this stuff written in the book.
And they think of death as the end of everything.
Yes, and it is not.
All right. Is there anything I need to do for the mediumship, or will it just happen?
You will know when it happens. You will figure it out. You will figure it out. There's nothing you have to do. When you hear someone, then you know they're talking to you. And you will know it's right.
Yeah.
Especially if it comes in really strong. You will know when it comes. You will know.
Good. Thank you.
And like his higher self says, then maybe you can graduate to an extra large.
Yes. Well, that's when I will think of being an extra large.
Yes.
All right. All right. Thank you for coming. I love you guys.
Yes, I regress.
Thank you for listening to Quantum Healing with the Angels. This podcast is sponsored by Sarah Webb Beyond Quantum Healing. Contact Sarah today for your free consultation and mention this ad for 10% off your Quantum Healing or Quantum Connect session.